cravings because for a lot of people, that's the thing that keeps wrecking their progress. And so I'm at the point now where I don't get cravings very often myself, but it definitely wasn't always the case. So in this live, I'm going to be walking through the exact strategy that I use so you can start shrinking your cravings week by week as well. So, and then I'll jump into what I did for my power list, like what I ate, my water, sleep, movement, and accountability. So you can see how that fits into a real day as well. And so, as always, I'm running the power list for each day of the challenge. So there's 5 critical tasks that move my health forward. And so I keep it really simple. Either I did the task or I didn't. And at the end of the day, it's either a win or it's a lose based on the 5 critical tasks. So let's break down how I handle cravings. So I'm going to walk you through 3 pillars that have completely changed how I experience cravings. And this is the exact system that I use. So, number one is protein first meals. So, for me, beating cravings started with how I built my meals. So, I build every meal around protein first. So, that might look like for breakfast, I'll have eggs, bacon, and avocado instead of cereal and toast. And then for dinner, it might look like ground beef, cheese, some salsa instead of pasta with garlic toast. And so when I do that, I stay full for longer and I don't get the constant urge to snack on any junk food and that kind of stuff. So that brings us to pillar number two. So real hunger versus a habit. So I had to learn the difference between what was real hunger and what was just a habit. So if I'm thinking I'm hungry, what I do is I go and I ask myself, it's like, would I have a real meal right now? And if the answer is no, then it's usually not real hunger. It's either boredom, stress, or it's just a habit that you kind of built up over time. So doing that ended up training me and my brain to recognize if I'm actually hungry or not. And now those cravings just don't show up that often anymore at all. And number three, the pillar number three here is the craving emergency plan. So on the rare times I do have cravings that show up, I just run 3 simple step process that helps me get through it. So step number one is I'll have a big glass of water um, right away. And so after the water, if I'm still feeling like, hey, I feel like I need something, then I'll make tea. And usually the cravings hit later in the day. So I'll have like a chamomile tea, which is good before bed. And then even if I still feel like I need something after that, I'll go ahead and I'll eat something, but it won't be like sweet or processed snacks. It'll be something protein based. So instead of the cookies or something sweet like that, maybe I'll have some like cheese and meat, or instead of chips, I'll have some eggs with a bit of salt. So the rule is if I'm going to eat, it has to be real food with protein, not the sugar or refined carbs that just end up feeding the craving. So now I'm going to dive into how my day went yesterday for these tasks. So for my breakfast, I had my 2 bulletproof coffees. I ended up having 5 chicken drumsticks and a couple of dill pickles. And so it was I didn't load the morning with calories like I normally do. My second meal was more calories, but I just wasn't hungry after I ate what I ate. And then the dinner looked like 2 pork steaks. I had some couple pieces of pickled herring, and so ended up just being whole foods that were high in protein, keeping my carbs super low for the day. So we ended up uh, not getting over 15 carbs for today. So that's kind of what insulin smart eating looks like in a day. And then number two on the task list is hydration. So I ended up hitting my 3 liters of water today, plus the electrolytes. So this is crucial when you're eating low carb, especially in the beginning. And that's why I put this on the task list, because your body sheds a lot of water and electrolytes. You have to intentionally replenish them. Number three for the sleep, I got to bed at 9 o'clock in the evening, and I woke up at 4:30. So I hit that task. Everything good there. My movement, I had a leg day in the gym. And so building muscle is one of the most underrated things for metabolic health. The muscle means better insulin sensitivity, and that means fewer cravings, better energy, and overall, it just improves everything. Number five for the accountability. And so just before bed, I went into my school group where I'm holding the challenge and I posted to the check in thread. And so this is kind of like the secret sauce when you are able to get accountability from a community like that. You end up being more likely to hit your targets because it's not just about you anymore. You actually have a group and stuff to kind of hold you accountable. And then Tomorrow, what we're going to be talking about, because I'm going live every day of the challenge, just to talk about a different focus of the day. So tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about energy levels, and I'm going to be starting an energy journal. So basically, what doesn't get tracked doesn't get improved. So if you don't know or notice your energy improving from doing a challenge like this, then you might just give up and say, "Oh, this isn't for me." But if you actually put it down in a journal and like track your progress and how you feel, then you actually get to see your progress and you'll be more motivated to continue something like this. So that's what we'll be doing there. And then if you want to join the challenge, I do have the school group, like I mentioned before. And so right now it's free. You get all the resources, you get the food list, meal plan, step by step guide, and accountability from other people doing the same thing. So if you end up having any questions or anything like that you'd like me to cover in the next live, just feel free to drop them in the comments, and make sure to like and subscribe if you thought this was helpful. But that's all I got for you today. So make it a good day, and we'll see you on tomorrow.